Hello everyone. How are you doing? Today, we learn how to narrate past events. We need to acknowledge some important things to narrate past events. First of all, signal words show time relationships. In addition, we use signal words to guide the reader from one idea to the next. Also, transition signals help to connect your ideas in your writing. Most importantly, it contributes to adding new ideas in the sequence of events. First of all, in addition, also, most importantly, as a consequence, in conclusion, first, second, third, next, after, finally, etc. are the examples of signal words. We use a preposition of time to mark an exact period, like the time of different festivals, one of the days in a week, the real time when the action takes place, the date on the calendar, etc. For examples, in January, in the summer season, on Sunday, from 2002 to 2004, etc. We use the regular past simple tense. And, we use used to for the event that happened regularly in the past but no longer happens. We use cause and effect sentences that show us how one action caused another action to happen. Please, watch this conversation. It will help you to understand the elements needed to narrate past events.
The Afghan government was collapsed after the Taliban entered Kabul on Sunday. There is chaos in Afghanistan. Afghans are afraid of what will happen once the Americans are gone. They are once again facing life under the Taliban's rule. Today, here we have an Afghan activist, Professor Peter Jackson. We discuss some key facts about the Taliban's history and their ideology. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Sir, first of all, as you have been observing the Taliban's activities for a long, please, let us know who the Taliban are.
The Taliban, which means students in the Pashto or Eastern Iranian language. The Taliban is a Sunni Islamist nationalist, originated in the early 1990s around the southern Afghan city of Kandahar and expanded their sole control over most of the country from 1996 until October 2001.
What was the Taliban's ideology in their rule?
During its 5 years in power, the Taliban used to enforce a strict version of Sharia law. Secondly, they used to ban women from working or studying. Next, public executions and whippings were common. Western films and books were banned, and cultural artifacts seen as an offensive under Islam were destroyed.
Why did the U.S. invade Afghanistan in 2001 to dethrone the Taliban?
First, on September 11, 2001, 19 al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. On Tuesday morning, an American hijacked airlines was crashed into the World Trade Center in New York City. Almost 3,000 people were killed during the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which triggered major U.S. initiatives to combat terrorism. It aimed to destroy al-Qaeda by removing the Taliban from power. Finally, the U.S. defeated the Taliban militarily and started rebuilding fundamental institutions of the Afghan state.
What happened after the U.S. defeated the Taliban in 2001?
The Taliban fled away into remote areas, where they began a 20-year-long insurgency against the Afghan government and its Western allies. About 47,600 civilians and 3,500 coalition soldiers have been killed in Afghanistan during the 20 years of war. More than 20,000 U.S. soldiers and officers were wounded in Afghanistan. And, more than $2.26 trillion was spent.
Then, why is the U.S. withdrawing from Afghanistan now?
The decision to pull U.S. troops out of Afghanistan was part of an agreement. President Donald Trump had a deal with the Taliban last year to withdraw all American troops this year in return for a promise to stop attacking foreign forces and to cut ties with al-Qaeda and ISIS.
Taliban today held their first news conference in Kabul. Taliban militants took control of Afghanistan on Sunday, 2 decades after they were removed from power by the U.S.
Yes, the Taliban today declared they wanted peaceful relations with other countries and would respect the rights of women within the framework of Islamic law. There are, however, the group has already started to prohibit women from working in some areas.
Thank you, Professor, for your valuable time and information.
Did you enjoy the conversation? Now, we have the regular quiz practice session. Are you ready to play the quiz? Let's get started.
Joe can answer the question however difficult it is. Most importantly, you must keep a record of everything you do. First of all, I want you to review what we learned yesterday. The school offered a scholarship. In addition, they offered an entire section of free ebooks to download. Mr. Copperfield was sick. As a result, he couldn't attend his class. Suzanne had been incredibly saved from almost certain death. The lost man was finally reunited with her parents. People used to come to visit her when she was a rich woman. As a consequence, some smokers have suffered irreparable damage to their health. First, I went to the market. Afterwards, I attended a meeting and left for home.